Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 3. Apologies for the typo in my caption. Okay, who else can relate to this where your brain moves so much faster, or maybe your hands move so much faster? Your body moves so much faster than your brain does, right? And you're just so excited to get something out. And it's not until you actually go back and you have a moment and you're like, oh man, that was wrong or that didn't come out right. Very typical, especially with manifestors and manifesting generators if you're into human design. We all move so fast and it can sometimes be a detriment, but at the same time, what I love about it is that it proves that we're human. We might seem superhuman at times by the way we function and create and activate things, but it's a reminder that, hey, we're just really excited. We are really focused on moving forward, and things like spelling, aren't really that important. In any case, I'm so glad that you're back with me here for week 3 of creating your 2026 from calm versus chaos. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole thing from this morning. If you follow me on Instagram and other places, I really had a moment. This whole weekend was really challenging for a lot of us, and I wanted to come online and just say something to that point. And it has actually landed with quite a few of you, and I appreciate your comments. I appreciate you chiming in as well. And it reminded me of how important these this 5-week program is as well. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. Um, we have so much opportunity right now to create the future that we want, right? We can't control other people. We can't control outside circumstances. We can't control anything outside of ourselves. But we can be intentional. We can put our focus on where we want it to be, how we want it to look. And I have to believe that if enough of us do this, if enough of us are intentional and enough of us put our focus toward creating the life, the community, the world that we want, there has to be a shift. And so I'm just really excited that you are here, right? And the timing of this, where I thought I was late, I was behind, the 8 ball. I actually today I feel like I'm right on time. So, what are we getting into today? Well, week 3 is all about who you're becoming, right? And again, another great segue. The woman, the man, the person that you envision right now yourself to be December 2026. They're not just going to happen by accident, right? You're not just going to wake up December 1st and all of a sudden be that person. It might feel that way, but it's also going to be over the course of many different decisions, many different choices, many different options, many different intentions, right? Many different new habits and rituals and things that you learn that you decide to take on. Those 1% changes that you make in your day to day that evolve you into being that person you envision right now, December 2026, right? And that's the fun part. That's the part that gets me excited because I've experienced that so many times for myself where I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm here. This is real. This is happening. This is the thing. How did this happen? And I get to go back and I get to see the breadcrumbs of all the things that led me to this moment. And that's my wish for you. Like today, January 26th, let this be one of the breadcrumbs that you get to remember, right? That spark 30 days from now, 60 days from now, 6 months from now. And you're like, that's right. This is when I made this decision or I started doing things differently. So Who are you going to become? Right? Who is that person? December 2026. What does she have? How does she look? How is she taking care of herself? How is she holding herself? What does her world look like? Right? What is your work? What is your friend group? Has your family, gotten larger? Maybe it's shrunk a little bit, right? You've released yourself of certain people and relationships and things that just don't serve you anymore. All of those things can be beautiful. None of those things are right or wrong. It's what is working, what is going to work for you. So, as always, we're going to start with getting settled in. And today, one of the tools I want to share with you is one of my favorites, and it's EFT tapping. Tapping was something that I heard about, knew about, and thought it was interesting. But when I really decided, let me give this a shot, let me just see, play around with it. Over the course of 30 days, if it was that long, I really started to see a difference. And it was a subtle change, but it was me realizing, oh, I'm not reacting the way I used to. Oh, I'm responding differently, right? Or this isn't triggering anymore. And so EFT tapping, however you prefer to say it, it can be used anywhere, which is also why I love it. You can do it really like slyly, like tapping your knuckle, tapping side of your face. Totally doable. You can go bigger, and be sitting there fully intentional, all those things. It's whatever works for you. I have done it in the car, in back to back traffic, when my nervous system is just about to explode. I've done it before meetings. I did it before this call with you guys. It's something that it's a great tool to have in your back pocket. So today's tapping is really going to be about opening us up to possibility, opening us, opening us up, opening the channel up for creative thought, for creative ideas, creative solutions to come in, to guide us on this path to becoming who we see, right? Who we envision December 2026, who we envision when we've accomplished our goals, right? And all from a place of calm and nourishment, not the hustle, the grind, the force, the push, but allowing more things to come to us, allowing more space so that the light can come in and fill us. So, to get started, I want you to be comfortable and just follow me. Okay. You don't have to repeat the words, although I will leave a little bit of space, of breath in there for you to repeat if you like. I also encourage you that if this is something you drive with, you come back to it later on and follow along that way. I will also put this script in the description, and I'll also be sending out an email with it in there. So again, multiple opportunities for you to try this for yourself. And I'll also have the prompts on where you're tapping, all that stuff, all that good stuff. Okay. All right, so take a deep breath in. Exhale. I like doing just a few shoulder rolls. I'm bringing them all the way up to my ears and then dropping them up and dropping. This is a really good pattern interrupt for your system as well, your nervous system. Just do it one more time. All right. So I have my notes here, my script. All right. So we're going to start with the karate chop. And again, there's no right or wrong way. I want you to do what works for you, what feels good in your body right now. And again, if you are someplace where you can't, be all out doing all the things. Do what you can. And you can also just sit there, close your eyes, and allow the words to flow over you, to flow through you. Okay. Even though change feels scary, even though part of me wants to stay exactly where I am, even though my nervous system isn't sure if it's safe to evolve, I deeply love and accept myself. I deeply love and accept all of myself. Okay, now we're going to move through the other areas. Change feels scary. Part of me wants to stay small. What if I become someone unrecognizable? What if I lose people along the way? What if I can't handle who I'm becoming? All of this fear in my body, I'm holding so much resistance to change. Now we're going to shift those statements. Deep breath in, exhale. What if I change? What if I could change and feel safe? What if I could evolve gently? What if she's just more of me? The most authentic version of me. I give my body permission to feel safe, evolving. I am safe to become who I'm meant to be. She already exists within me. I'm just letting her out. Hand over your heart. Deep breath in and release. I really, really love that. What if, what if this future version of you, the person you're becoming, is just more of you? Is just a bigger, brighter version of you because you are living, breathing who you're meant to be, right? Your soul has been activated. We always say that, for example, money just amplifies who you are. Well, okay, but let's take that a little further. Being in your body, living your truth, those things also amplify who you really are. Being intentional, respecting your time, your boundaries, creating those things amplify. They give you space, they give you room to be more of who you are. So let's talk about why we're really here, right? Last week, we honored where we are. We told the truth about our starting points, right? You had some journal work, nourishing work to do. And that's not over, but we'll come back to those two. This is every week we're building upon the things that we're doing. So this week we're asking different questions. Who do I need to become to have what I want? Versus the chaotic way, who do I need to become, right? Or what do I need to do to become the person I want? Let me say that over again, in case I don't want to confuse you guys. We're coming from a place of who do I need to become to have what I want versus what do I need to do to become who I want, right? We're not talking about doing. We're kicking that to the curb. This is about becoming. And this is why that matters. Identity drives behavior. Now, most people think if I do all the right things, if I set myself up for success on a daily basis with my 10,000 things of to-do list, right? And I'm super hyper motivated and productive and all these things, then I'll have what I want. And then I'll be the person that I want to be. But how many times has that just led to burnout? Right here. How many times has it led to exhaustion? How many times has it led to you being completely unproductive on the couch, binging Netflix, and feeling like you're having to start over again? Do, have, be doesn't work. What actually works is be, do, have. Who you are determines what you do, and what you do determines what you have. Here's an example. If I see myself as someone who isn't good with money, then I'll make decisions and the universe, right? My perception of life will confirm that. I'll be avoiding looking at my bank accounts. I'll overspend to cope, right? Retail therapy. And I'll keep telling myself that I'll figure it out later. But if I see myself as someone who's building wealth with ease, oh, that just feels good automatically. I'll make completely different choices, completely different decisions. I'll check on my accounts. I will invest. I'll have buckets that I put money into so that I'm spending wisely, right? I'm keeping track of my money. And then I'll make choices from abundance, not avoidance. Same person, same circumstances, different identity, different results. Now, here's the tricky part. Your nervous system is invested in you staying the same. This is what we talked about last week, that your brain wants to keep you safe. Your mind wants to keep you safe. And your brain works beautifully at solving problems, right? It hears a question come in, a problem, it immediately goes to work, working through the file cabinet of your thoughts, your memories, your stories, your past behaviors to figure out this is the solution. Here you go. The problem with that is we are so much more better. We're so much more attuned to doing that for others than ourselves, right? So let's not do that. Let's get back to what feels aligned, what feels good, what feels nourishing. What is your, not just your intellect, but your intuition telling you? Where is it guiding you? What can you tap into, right? These are all the parts of becoming that person rather than, okay, let me figure out what I need to do, make a plan, and then execute. Thank you, outside balance outside the box. I received that. It's not that discipline is a problem for us. It's a nervous system problem. Okay. Your body doesn't feel safe yet becoming that version of you that you already see. And I want to stress that if you already see her, if you can imagine, if you can feel, if you can put yourself in that timeline, not only will you move there so much faster, but that is literally how you manifest. And you don't stop. Many of us stop, right? Something happens and we get kicked off track and we don't get back up and get back on. Like time is time is irrelevant in this point because as long as you get back up and you keep moving forward in that direction, you can fall, get back up, fall, get back up, fall, get back up. The beauty of it is that you will start to fall less. You will catch yourself before you hit the ground. That's because you're learning and your body is learning what the plan is, and you're moving in that direction. So the good news is we can change this. We can help our nervous system meet that version of us that we're becoming. We can make her feel more familiar right now before we're even her. And we can practice being her so often that our body starts to recognize her as safe. This is what I'm talking about. This is the fun part. This is where we get to start scripting. We get to be segmenting our day, segment intending our day, creating our reality. This is where you get hyped up and excited and juiced. And you know that no matter what happens the rest of the day, no matter what is awaiting you behind that corner, it's for your good. It's for your highest good. And even if it doesn't feel like it in that moment, you're in place, a better position to shift that thought, right? Instead of letting it defeat you and knock you off, you're able to shift into that version of yourself that can handle it, that knows this is just a moment in time. I get to work through it to get to the other side because this is my North Star. This is where I'm going. I get to take this lesson, learn it, and keep moving forward. And to everyone that's just joining us now, thank you so much. I'm so appreciative that you're hopping in on week number 3 in our call today. Everything I'm going over will be in the notes so you can always catch up. And I invite you to go back and rewatch this video and check out the EFT tapping. If you love tapping, if you're new to it, I know you're going to find it very nourishing. And it's short too. So we're talking about becoming who who we envision right now at the end of this year and all of the steps, all of the baby steps that we get to take, all the ways we get to nourish our nervous system and align ourselves, not push, not force, but align ourselves to that flow of getting what we want, aligning to what we want, stepping into what we want. So here's your permission slip. You don't have to become someone unrecognizable. And I love that. I used to dream about this version of myself, and so often she was so glamorous and so much that I thought I am going to have to change myself so much to fit into this idea of me. And I slowly realized that I am enough. That the version of me that feels good, that shows up no matter what, has a smile on my face, that loves what she does is enough, right? One of the affirmations I tell myself daily is I get paid to be me. If I showed up next week and I've got, false eyelashes on, a ton of makeup and hair down to here, I would say call for help, send help because that is not me. I am paid well to be me. The me that I'm becoming, that I am working toward, all the things that I can't wait to actually hold in my hands, and all the ways I get to show up and serve all of the hundreds of thousands of people that I come in contact with and share my message with. That me is just an elevated version of the person you see right now. So I want you to start thinking about that, right? That version of you is not unrecognizable. You know her. You feel her right now. She's already a part of you. She's just more of you because she has more tools, more experience, more life, right? She's taken all those lessons and she's using it in her toolkit. She's using that power for good. She is just more of you, the most you version that you've ever seen, that you've ever experienced. And I don't know about you, but I'm excited to meet her. I'm excited to have lunch or coffee, to vacation, to travel, to continue to make an impact in this world as that version because her impact is even greater. And there's many of you on this call right now that I know you have programs, you have books, you are coaching, you are showing up every day, every week, in your way on your platform to your audience. And so I want you to really imagine that version of yourself that's just more and able to touch that many more lives, to go that much further. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. All right. So now we're going to meet her. I'm going to ask you some questions. So this is a time where you can get your journal, your favorite notebook. And yes, it's okay if you want to put it on your get your iPhone and put on your notes. Although I will stress, pen and paper is even better. If you can get a pen and paper, do it. So take a deep breath. Exhale. I want you to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. You're not driving and listening to this. And I want you to imagine that it's December 31st, 2026. And you're looking back on this year, and it was the year that everything shifted, the year you finally have become her. I want you to see her, the woman who lived your 2026 vision. And I'm going to ask you some questions about her. And I want you just to let the answers just come up to the surface like bubbles. Don't think too hard about this because the first thing that pops in your head is always the most important. It's always the strongest. After that, your mind steps in and you're thinking. We don't want the thinking part of you to come in just yet. We just want you to feel into her. So, who is the woman living in your 2026 vision? Not what does she have, but who is she? What's her energy? What's her vibe? How does she carry herself? So take a minute and jot down the first words, phrases that come to mind. Joshua. Yes, I know you're Patrina's mom. I've been following your Substack. All right, next question. How does she start her day? Does she rush into it? Is she already behind? Does she scroll? Is she the kind of person that wakes up almost like she went to bed with her phone in her hand and letting the day take her along with it versus her guiding her day, right? Being the maestro of her day. Or does she have space? What does her morning feel like in her body? I think one of the most powerful things you can do in the morning, and it's taken me a long time to learn and really appreciate this. But one of the most powerful things you can do is to give yourself time in the morning, space. It doesn't mean you have to wake up at 4:30, 5:30 in the morning or, so much more earlier than you already do. But it means that you find a way to give yourself that buffer between getting up, your feet hitting the floor, and the world coming in. And if in that time, in that buffer, you can move your body, You can stretch, you can work out, you can sweat, you can go for a walk, you can, jump on the treadmill, you can dance, but just get the blood circulating. Get new oxygen into your body, into your limbs, moving through you. There is something so, so powerful about that. And if you're thinking right now, well, I'm not really a morning workout person, it doesn't have to be intense, but finding something that feels good, that is nourishing to get the blood, the chi, the energy moving in your body. Next question. What does she believe about herself? What does she know to be true that you right now are still questioning? Now, that's a juicy one. I'm going to say that again. What does she know to be true that the you right now are still questioning? Maybe she believes that she is worthy of rest, that she is worthy of her time, of owning her time, of her time being respected. Maybe she knows that she is abundant and not just in a money financial way. In that way, plus, she is abundant in good health. She is abundant in beautiful, supportive, nourishing relationships. She is abundant in a business or career that gives back to her instead of just takes. What does she believe? What has she stopped tolerating? Now, this is going to be a big one for a lot of us because to get to that person, to become that person, it's going to require some major house cleaning. I can't even sugarcoat that. There will be some people that fall away from your ecosystem. There will be habits and things that you will have to let go of because when you are really honest with yourself, they aren't supportive. And I can't tell you what those things are. You have to make that decision. That's part of the 1% change that you do every single day that moves you closer to where you actually want to be instead of keeping you where you are. Now, if letting go of those things, those relationships, those people, those habits, if that doesn't feel good and you actually can't imagine letting go of those things, then I got to be honest with you. You're not ready. You're not ready for this work, this soul work that we get to do. Because this is about elevating, uplifting, moving toward what we want instead of staying where we are. And I can tell you from experience that if you're thinking, well, that person will change because I'm changing and they'll come along with me. Maybe, but we all have our own path. We all have our own course. We are all moving at our own speed. And you've got to be willing, you get to be willing to let some things go. And if they find their way back later on and they still fit, then maybe they stay at that point. What does she do when things get hard? Does she spiral? Does she shut down? Or does she have the tools now to keep moving forward? And every week that you join me here, you're going to learn another tool. Last week, it was the 4-box breath. This week, we delved into EFT tapping. These are all tools to help you when those moments pop up, and they will pop up. If you're just joining us right now, we're going over some journal prompts. Feel free to join in, grab your pen and paper or your note taker and jump in. And I invite you to go back and watch the beginning of this to really be able to give yourself that time. This time is for you. The last question is, how does she feel in her body? Not how does she look? How does she feel? Is there ease? Is there spaciousness? Is she grounded? And this is a question I really want you to spend some time because this part sets you up for everything else. Because when you start thinking about your goals versus I want a new car. I want to buy this house. I want this new coat. When we stop thinking about the thing and start thinking about how we want to feel, that projectiles us that much closer to the thing. You guys ever heard in marketing, it's not about the features, it's about the benefits? This is the same thing. You're creating a marketing campaign for your future self. I want you to imagine and really feel into what does she want to feel on a daily basis, right? How does she want to feel in her body, in her relationships, in her work, with her kids, with her parents, with herself? And I want you to start thinking about all those benefits that are going to come from this version of you, not just the features, the more money, the promotion, the bigger house, the Louis Vuittons, the you name it, right? Shopping at Erewhon. All those are just, the features that you'll now have access to because you focused on the benefits first. Feeling good, sleeping well, feeling stronger in my body, being able to move with ease, right? Feeling regulated, feeling grounded, having spaciousness all around me. This is how you want to feel. All right, so take a deep breath again and let it out slowly. My desire for you is that this week you spend some time coming back to these questions, coming back to this part of our journal work. Don't let today just be the only day you go over and think about who you're becoming. I know it's going to be really challenging. Probably once you get off this call, the world is going to flood in. And there's a lot of things to distract us, to take us away. But remember, this is all part of it, right? It's those moments where you get to make a decision to do something different, to turn the cog differently, to go left versus right, to give yourself those 10 minutes versus social media or someone else who may not be filling your cup up in the process. This is how you fill your cup. This is where you come to remind yourself of where you're going. And every day, keeping that front of mind and working toward that. So, in the last 10 minutes or so, we're going to do something a little different today. We're going to actually do an embodiment practice. We're going to practice being her right now in this moment. Okay? It's going to be fun. Don't freak out. Oh, you are so welcome. Thank you so much. Okay, if you are staying with me, we're going to get into the embodiment practice. If you have to sign off, please don't feel stressed. Go with peace. And I will see you on the other side. And please feel free to come back to this and do it later. All right. So I want you to sit the way she would sit in her chair. Seriously. I want you to adjust your posture. How does she hold her body? How does she sit? Right? I'm pretty sure, I don't even know you, but I'm pretty sure the version that you're thinking of isn't slouching. Now breathe the way that she breathes. If you got to close your eyes, do that. If you want to keep your eyes open, do that. Now, what does she feel? Does she feel grounded? Are her shoulders down? Her body's relaxed. Chin is high. Does she feel seen? Does she exude a kind of quiet confidence? Let that fill your chest. Let that fill your heart space. Is she open to receiving? Is she able to sit and observe and then respond? This is an example of somatic visualization. We're not just thinking about her, we're feeling her in our body. And this is something you can come back to at any moment. It literally takes a minute, right? To just calm your breathing. And even if you're not a visual person, that's okay. Because we're talking about feeling. And that's internal. That's here, right in your heart space. And when you do this regularly, something magical happens. And when she feels familiar to you, as I said before, when she starts feeling familiar, her actions, her thoughts, her decisions, her choices, when you start thinking like her, your nervous system feels safe. Your nervous system opens, it expands. And that's when more can come in. That's actually when you can receive. This is how the identity shift happens. Okay, gorgeous. This has been amazing. So let's bring this on home. This week's practice is simple. Okay? 5 to 10 minutes, whatever you can spare. I would even invite you to build up this week, right? When we work out, especially if you're doing anything particular like spinning or hits or some sort of cardio, even strength training, it's all about building your endurance, increasing your endurance, right? Increasing your reps, increasing your stamina. In that same way, I want you to think about how can I increase my spaciousness? And that starts with giving yourself a minute, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. Keep building. How much time can you give to yourself this week to just sit and either go over your journal, finish it, or do the somatic work and just feel her in your body. Put yourself there. Not just thinking about her, but being her. Sit like her, breathe like her, act as if you are her through your day. That is actually a great, fun thing to do as well. So I'm just gonna pour some ideas out there for you. You pick the one that feels good, but, you know, role play, it can be a fun exercise too, even if it's just for a moment. How would she respond? Try it and see what the result is. You might just surprise yourself. And trust me, you don't have to have it all figured out this week, right now, tomorrow, right? By the end of this week, by our next call, you just get to practice. You just get to give to yourself. All right, my friends. So all of this will be in the show notes below and in the email that I send out, the recap as well. And I invite all of you, please share with me if you love this. I see your comments right here as well. But if there's something more personal, private you want to share with me, I love to hear from you. I I love feedback. I love hearing what's going on, what's hitting, what's missing, what do you want more of? And this whole 5 week project, right? Workshop that we're doing together. It is really it was something that I was already working on, and I thought, "I wanna bring some friends along with me." And so I'm just really grateful and blessed to have you all here today. So I will see you next Monday at 11:11 as well, and I look forward to hearing from you throughout the week. Let's stay connected. Have a amazing, amazing week. I'll see you soon.